feel like they want you to stay trapped. You know, this world is a matrix.
What do they need to do to fix their credit, and why do they need to work with you as opposed to anyone out there to fix their credit?
I give real results. I have the testimonials, I have the transformation, I have the people that are actually getting the things that they want in life. They come to me, 500 credit score. Some of my clients are leaving with 400 plus increases by the time they're done with my program. I don't want them to leave and mess it up and then come back for credit repair again. I need them to get what they need, get the transformation, and then start living a life that they truly desire.
Why do you think people do that and are afraid to, let's say, move, grow, expand? Why do you think people are more comfortable where they are?
They've never experienced freedom. They've never experienced the things outside of that town. All they see is the same thing over and over and over again. They don't know that it's more outside of this.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the On a Pursuit podcast. We bring amazing entrepreneurs right to you. They really do real things, and we want them to break down exactly what they do to bring you guys value, also to help you get to where you're looking to go. On today's episode, we have an amazing entrepreneur. Not only is she amazing, she's really changing people's lives. And I personally think that she needs to speed up what she's doing because so many people need her help, right? There's over 200 million Americans that are suffering from bad credit, and it's because it's a lack of, education and support and guidance for what they got going on. So I'm excited to have her here today. I know she's going to be a blessing to at least a dozen of you guys watching this podcast. So before we introduce her, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, comment on this right now. What are you looking to get out of this episode? And without further ado, Jasmine Mazyck, welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me.
Man,
pleasure.
So already, right?
Yeah.
So what made you want to come to Miami? I know you're on a campaign right now, so you're hitting a lot of platforms, spreading your message. So what was so special about stopping here first?
I feel like coming into Miami, you feel like energy shift. Being in Miami, you don't know who you're walking next to because it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to tap into that connection as well. Start networking, making my connections, and letting people know who I am, what I do, and how I help the people.
Yeah, and the thing is, how you help people, I feel like is extraordinary and is needed. And the thing about your space, I gotta be honest, right? A lot of people do credit. A lot of people say they do credit. A lot of people do credit. I guess it's kind of like it's wide open because you could do it a lot of different ways.
Right.
Some people might say, hey, I can help this person. They end up working for a whole year, not much action.
No results.
No results, right? So then it kind of makes people, maybe lose faith.
Yep, skeptical.
Right? Then maybe somebody does get right, but they don't get the tangible resources after they get in good shape. So then they get back to where they were, right? So Miami is special because there's a lot of money in Miami.
Right.
There's a lot of like old money. There's all this new internet money. There's crypto money. There's e-com money. A lot of money on the water, right? So the thing behind the money is a lot of it also could just be like a mirage. A lot of people showing that they got bread, but they don't really have bread.
Exactly.
So I know there's people watching this right now. They may be that particular individual, right? They're showing off. They got this money. They got the cars. They got the apartment. They got the look. But really, they got a 500 credit score.
Right.
Right. So if we're talking to that individual right now, what do they need to do to fix their credit, and why do they need to work with you as opposed to anyone out there to fix their credit?
I would say my company, I give real results. I have the testimonials, I have the transformation, I have the people that are actually getting the things that they want in life. They come to me, 500 credit score. Some of my clients are leaving with 400 plus increases by the time they're done with my program. And I also have in-house lenders. So once they come to me for their credit repair, they don't have to go out and find people to get them the home approvals, the auto loan approvals, credit cards. Like I have all of that stuff in-house, and I love it that way because I don't want them to leave and mess it up and then come back for credit repair again. I need them to get what they need, get the transformation, and then start living a life that they truly desire.
So in Miami, like I said, some individuals, they're spending cash for everything because they don't really got the look, right? So if they're choosing between like you and someone else, what is the thing that makes you stand out? Why should they work specifically with you? I know you got the testimonials, but a lot of people got testimonials.
Right.
A lot of people may have even created AI testimonials. Right. And I know you say you get results fast, but what is it about your strategy, your technique, the way you deliver that could take somebody with like a 400 credit score or 500 credit score and give them that crazy, score increase, plus have a good profile to get them to whatever they're looking to go next?
Right. Like I tell folks, you have credit repair and then
Yeah.
you have consumer law.
Mm,
And what makes me different and why they need to come to me is because I have rapid results.
got you.
So it's not taking us a year to
Yeah.
get them results. So when they come to me, I combine the credit repair consumer law and then I get those disputes filed and then they have results. Most of my clients, they get results within 30 to 60 days. So that's why I would say come to me because I'm not just lagging you on. I'm having you come to me, you're getting results, and then you're going on about your business. You don't have to stay with me and just continue to pay and pay and pay. I don't do that. I want my clients to come in, get rapid results, and then go on.
So what's a real tangible result that you got from somebody, right? Like they couldn't get an apartment, couldn't get a house. They were kind of messed up in this situation. Then they got with you. What's like a really big transformational story that you could share?
Is your podcast still not monetized? Apple has over 2 million podcasts on their platform, but only 450,000 of them are active. The truth is 90% of podcasts quit before episode 10, and of the remaining podcasts, only half of them really know how to get money. And they rely on brand deals, sponsorships, and a large audience. So if you're really ready to scale your podcast to 100K, click the link below, book a call, and let's see if you're a good fit for the program.
So I have one client. She's in the military. She's out in Hawaii, right? So you don't see people out in Hawaii doing credit repair.
Nah.
It was crazy. So she reached out to me because she had got a conditional approval. So conditional approvals mean we'll give you an approval based upon, you getting these things removed. So she needed to have that done within 45 days. So she reached out to me. Of course, I did what I do. And I got the items removed and she was able to close on her home. And her home was actually like $900K. In Hawaii, homes are smaller, but they're more expensive. So that was one thing I was really proud of because I don't want anyone to come to me and they're in like a crunch, and I can't help them. And also, if you come to me and I can't help you, I'll let you know that because sometimes they want overnight success. So credit repair isn't an overnight success thing. You have to actually go through the process. But if you have the right resources, you do the things that I ask you to do, then we'll get those deletions.
So you're like a credit magician for real.
For real, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in June alone, we had over 5 new addresses across my company. So first-time homeowners, people who never even thought this was possible. Chicago, we had Virginia, we had North Carolina, we had Texas, and then of course Atlanta.
Yeah. That sounds good. So why do you think this information is not taught in schools? Why do you think the average household is messed up in America? Because if we Google right now, it'll say over 200 million Americans are struggling with bad credit, which is interesting because it just shows you how many people are actually in the country because there's so many people that are not, but there's such a big gap of people that are. So how do we fix that gap? And why do you think so many people, like this information is readily available? Like how come most people aren't getting this in schools? How come it's not taught so more Americans are not in the jam?
I feel like they want you to stay trapped. This world is a matrix. This United States is a business. So they want you to stay trapped. They want you to stay so busy where you can't learn this information, right? The same thing, they want you to work and retire at 60. You're already halfway through your life. The average person lives to be about 85. So I feel like people need to self-educate themselves more, get in the rooms with the people that have this information and invest in themselves because they're not going to teach you in school. They teach you algebra, but they won't teach you how to get a 750 credit score. It's crazy.
I don't think I use algebra since I've been an adult.
My point. It's like, it's not needed. Like you need some math. You need to know how to add, subtract, some percentages to get paid, but you don't need that algebra stuff. You need to know how to fix your credit.
So you think they just be giving you random information just to stuff in your brain to distract you from the things that are really important?
For sure. They want you to stay busy, tired when you get home from work. They want you to work this 40 hours. Some people work in 60-hour work week, and then you come home, you're too tired. You don't have time to study.
What got you into this industry? Like what was a pivotal moment that was a light bulb that shifted for you? I assume you must have had bad credit at some point, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So what was that moment like? And then was that the moment that a light bulb went off or was there something else? And then what was like a big success story for you?
So at the age of 24, let me back up a little. I'm from a small town, McClellanville, South Carolina. a population of about 600 people.
That's crazy.
You can Google it, literally,
Yeah.
like 626. My graduating class was 20. So as you
20
can,
people
20
of
people.
that? That's
Yeah,
crazy. College or high school?
High school.
20 people?
It closed down already now. So
Man.
we don't even have a high school in our town now.
Does our high school still, does the building still exist?
Yeah, but it's closed down.
Damn.
Like it's
not being
there
reused for nothing?
at all. Not even a grocery store. We don't even have a stoplight.
That's crazy.
So, right. So as you could imagine, it's underserved. So this information is in there, spinning in circles, right? After high school, all these years passing. I'm still doing the same thing. So I joined the military, right? So South Carolina, they sent me to Colorado, 27 hours away. So as I'm trying to get approved for an apartment, now I have the income from the military, stability, but I couldn't get approved because I had negative things on my report. I didn't even know.
So you had the cash.
Yes.
Looking to get an apartment, but they wouldn't give you access because the credit wasn't good.
Exactly. And at 24, who even knows about a credit report? You know, we don't know what that stuff is. I didn't know. So at this point, it's like desperation. I need a place to stay, away from parents. I'm just there by myself. So now I started digging deep into this. What is this credit stuff and why is it stopping me from getting a place to stay?
So the credit you found out when you couldn't get the apartment like that, was it like a realtor or building that just made it?
Apartment complex.
Okay,
yep.
So the apartment complex was like, hey, listen, you got the cash, but you don't qualify in this category.
For sure.
We can't give you the spot.
Exactly.
And that was the first time you heard of credit?
Well, I knew a little bit about credit, but I didn't know it could stop you from doing things in life,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
It controls literally the things that you can and cannot get. I didn't know that. I'm thinking, okay, I have the military now as an income. I can go out and get what I want, you know? Everybody's dream is from a small town, go in the military.
Yeah.
I know you heard that before. So that's what I thought. Let me go in the military, get a career. And then boom, credit just shot.
So the military don't even get you right.
No, they don't teach you this stuff in the military. So I had to dive deep into that stuff. So now I'm literally researching, what is credit? How can I get these things removed off of my score? What do I need to get approved for things? What are the things that I need to add on my credit report? And that was like the pivotal moment, like, okay, I don't have anyone to fall back on. I have to figure this out for myself. And that's when I got into credit.
So what was the transition like? You know what I'm saying? So military, did you get discharged and then you started this business? Was it a transition? How'd you go all the way into credit?
So I medically retired back in 2023.
Okay.
And then from that, I wanted to do something that would not affect my disabilities.
Gotcha.
So that's why I got into credit, where I can, sit down and, research and talk to people and give them this information, nothing strenuous.
What's the biggest, like your biggest success story in that regard? Was it helping the client in Hawaii or something else that was just like crazy?
The Hawaii was good,
Yeah.
But also my family is super tight, right? And my family didn't
like
come
tight
from
with money or tight together?
Tight together.
Okay.
Oh, tight
with money too?
Yeah. So we didn't grow up with money. I'm literally like the first person in my family who has built this type of life for themselves. So my grandmother, she literally praying for me when I couldn't even pray for myself. So I don't know if you heard about those Kia Tellurides. So she wanted one of those things so bad. We were passing by. She's like, I'm going to get
That's the truck,
one.
right?
The
Kia
truck.
Yeah, I think I seen it. Yeah.
And it's just her, but she wanted the third row.
The big, yeah.
Right. So she's like, I want one of these things so bad, so bad, so bad. And I was able to gift her that. She had no idea, literally. And the thing about it is, not to get too deep, but because we're from these underserved communities, you don't see people getting gifted things. When the truck pulled up, she thought someone was coming to like do a repossession.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's the mindset.
Right. So it's like, no, this is yours. So I was able to do that for her. And that was just something you don't see,
What was like a dark or like not a great day or experience on this journey? Because obviously we can talk about all the good things, but transitioning, right? Being medically discharged, finding something that you can do to really help people and change your life. There had to have been some type of like experience that you went through that like was really challenging as you learning this new information. So was there one thing that you can think of as you're going on this journey that really challenged you?
I would say a lack of opportunities and information, which is why I had to make a move. you will plateau if you don't have access to the information you need.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have the onesies, twosies in a small town that have information, but they want you to do well, but not better than them. So you have to reach out. And I didn't understand that stuff like, well, why they don't want to give me, the information? I'm not asking for it for free. I'm willing to pay, for what I need. But it's just like, no, we want to keep you low. So that was one challenge for me. I'm like, okay, I have to get out, get in the rooms with people who understand what it's like to come together, give people the information because they want to see you do well.
Would you call those like haters? Were those like day ones, or just people that were around? They kind of see you do something different and they just hating on you because you do something different?
Yeah, people around not thinking, growing up, I was always the one that was teased in school. I wasn't the one that was going to do well. I was always a darker woman. I got teased a lot. So it's like, okay, they're used to seeing the same girl from high school or middle school. Now she's actually being very successful. We don't want to see that. So now we're going to hate on her. We're going to make sure she don't get the information she needs because we don't want to see her do well.
Why do you feel like people in small towns like yours settle and I don't want to say trapped because no one's technically trapped,
right?
But they're making a conscious decision to be comfortable, stay where they are. Why do you think people do that and are afraid to, let's say, move, grow, expand? Why do you think people are more comfortable where they are?
They've never experienced freedom. They've never experienced the things outside of that town. All they see is the same thing over and over and over again. They don't know that it's more outside of this. Some of them have never maybe even went on vacation, outside of South Carolina. So my town, like I said, 600 people. They don't know what it feels like to just wake up when you want to, do the things you want to, travel when you want to, have access to millionaires to get information that you need. They don't see that stuff.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, that's a fact. I mean, I'm from Boston, and it's not really a small city. Like, there's millions of people in Boston.
Right.
But my life really changed once I moved.
Yeah.
Like, I knew once when I was living there, because I lived there the majority of my life, I thought different from like my friends and people that would I would associate with. But I knew if I stayed here, I would do the exact same thing that they doing. Like, I would just buy a house, move to the burbs, probably got a nice car, worked a job, and then just did the same thing. Football on Sunday, probably got married or something, had a kid, and then I'm just passing the time. But my life really changed when I moved, put myself in different environments, got around different people, and I just kept searching for new information. I had a desire to get new and more information.
Right.
How can credit really change someone's life? Like, okay, cool. Let's say I work with you, right? I got bad credit. You got my credit profile popping, my score is popping, right? So now I can get access to whatever, right? What is now opened up for me? How can this really change my life? Because I feel like, there's a lot of people that, they can get the credit repaired, they can get fixed. Or maybe people are not taking advantage of making it a priority. Because I got a lot of friends, right? And I know some of them have good credit, and I know some of them I've been encouraging them to, hey, listen, put yourself in position. But they ain't really putting themselves in position.
Right.
So what is someone missing out on or preventing themselves to get access to by not making this a priority?
Growing. So you can have $0 in your bank account right now. You could go through credit repair. You can build the credit report to what the banks wants to see it. And now, boom, you walk in the bank, you could walk out with $50K.
Wait. Hold up. You gotta say that like they can understand it. So I don't got no money in my account.
Nothing.
None. I might even be negative. Right? I got bad credit. I can link with you, go through your processes.
Yep.
You get me right. I still got bad credit. I still got no money in my account, negative.
Right.
And with a good structured profile and a good credit report and a score, I can go into a bank and I can get a 50 ball.
Yeah, you have to have strategy, right? So, and it's not necessarily you going to get the cash, right? You have so many different ways to get funding, lines of credit, credit cards. You could do personal loans. There's so many different ways that you can get money. But yeah, you could definitely do that because sometimes you don't even have to go in the bank. You could literally apply online. If that profile is structured, it's going to trigger that approval like that.
So we talking about You got a name for this like the profile. Like if the profile's hitting on all the metrics, is this like $1 million profile? Like you got a certain name for this?
I don't have a certain name for it, but I call it build a fundable play. So you're building
a fundable plate.
Play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a play.
Yeah, gotcha.
So you got the strategies, right? So I'm gonna literally give you all the accounts you need to add. So now it's gonna look like, okay, this person has a track record of paying back things because now we're putting all of those positive accounts on your credit report. So of course, when you want to get, into like the 6-figure fundings and stuff like that, it comes with a little more. But the initial, you don't have any money, you can get some money. Yeah, you can do that.
That's crazy.
Credit.
Damn. So, and now the person that don't got no money, they can put them in position to get money.
Yep.
And they can still stay with you. You can show them how they can take that
More
funding
money.
and create some cash flow. So how much access to credit do you have?
I would say like $600K.
So you got $600K available, deployable that you can use to make money. See, that's crazy because the average person probably could never save up 600,000.
Yeah, right.
Like it would take them a very long time if they just working a job to save us 600,000. How much time do you think it took you to accumulate that much capital?
So I started in entrepreneurship. A lot of people don't know I started in the dump trucking industry. And from that,
is that a good business to purchase?
It really is. Definitely is. I would say you just have to make sure that you have a good driver. That's the number one issue in trucking industry. They can't keep a good driver in the truck.
Yeah.
But with that, you can imagine like the fuel cost, the cost for, broken parts and stuff like that. So at this point, I still didn't know much about credit, but then I started learning like, okay, there's business credit. It's a whole other side of this thing, right?
Facts.
So how can I get access to that stuff? So that's when I started learning about business credit and doing different things like that. So I started in dump trucking industry, real estate. Like I just funded myself like crazy. Profile structure, right?
How many years to get $600K? Obviously, results may vary.
So 19, like 6 years.
So on the average, it's like you getting access to 100,000 per year
over time, over a course of time.
And this through like one LLC or multiple LLCs.
One LLC.
That's crazy. So if you open up other ones, you can times that 600 by 2, by 3, by 4.
Right. And so a lot of people do that, right? But for me, I structured my dump trucking company the correct way and I funded that. So
and that's tough, right? Because isn't that like one of those industries that's kind of volatile because it's like trucking?
Right. You have to know the place, you know? But I don't believe in funding all of these multiple LLCs when you don't have a place to invest that money in, right? 100%. Because you don't want to start spending this money and then you can't pay it back. Right. So I was super strategic. I did what I needed to do with the money, fix and flip, different things like that. And I was able to, start paying it back and get more. So literally one LLC. But everyone's story is different. But for me,
listen, we ain't even get to the end of the podcast, but I feel like now's the perfect time. Like you got like a digital product or a course or something or like a workshop that they can tap into. Cause I feel like if they at least made it this far, that's enough for them to take some action.
Right.
So what you got? Leave say what they need to do right now.
So right now, if you're one of the ones who, I don't really know her like that. She talk a good game. Join my Credit Comeback community. $49 a month. Yeah. We have live classes, in-person events as well.
For $49, I can sit with you?
For 40. Look.
When's your next event?
So it's once a quarter.
Okay,
yeah, once a quarter.
It's
still good, right?
Hell yeah.
So, but we have classes every Thursday.
Okay.
Where I'm literally still giving you the game, right? But at the same time, it's different levels to it. So start right there, entry level, right? Then next, if you want to get into my mentorship, so I have a 4-month mentorship that I'm running right now. I literally, if you don't know anything about credit, by the time the end of that 4 months is over, I'm going to literally have you dominating. It's literally that simple. I give you everything that you need, structuring your business, the licenses that you need to run a credit repair business, because a lot of people, they run credit repair companies, but they don't even know you need licenses, you need bonds.
The only person I know that's licensed, and I think you and I, we might have touched on. I'm not sure now. Now I'm thinking about it. But the only person I know for sure that has a license is Dion Cookwood.
Oh yeah, I'm licensed.
Yeah, he the only other person I know that got the actual license. Like I seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Two.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you need one as yourself, right? And you don't think that you're going to run a credit repair company and you have bad credit.
Yeah.
Don't think.
Listen, Listen, we can talk about that too.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
But before we get it, what's the call to action so they can get into the mentorship?
Come on in my mentorship. Literally, if you go follow me on Instagram _Jasmine Mazyck, you could type boss on any one of my pictures. I'll send you the actual application to apply. So this isn't where you could just come and get in, right? Because I only want to work with the people that's ready.
Yeah, can we actually put a link right here so they can just go to the application? Is that possible? Or they got to go to the gram to do it?
Yeah, they have to go to the gram.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, listen, make sure her gram's down there so you guys can apply for sure.
For sure.
Because $49 and then obviously having an opportunity to tap into the mentorship, I think it's already worth it, even at this point.
And it's all in my bio too. Everything under my link tree is all in my bio. So everything that I offer, my mentorship, my credit comeback community, anything that you need, consultations, all of that is in my bio.
So talk to me about the credit repair people that have bad credit that are helping people with credit. And then talk to me about, because I've experienced this a lot. Yeah. People that help people with funding that don't got no money.
Yeah, that's crazy. How can you have bad credit, but you want to work on my credit report?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Crazy.
You tell me, how come that's so rampant out here?
I have no idea. I feel like it's the stereotype around credit. I could jump in credit and I could get rich. So, because think about it, right? Bad credit is one of the most profitable businesses in the U.S., right?
No, for sure.
It really is. So it's like, dang, I know all of these bad people with credit. Let me jump in and tell them I know what I'm doing a little bit, And they don't even go through the proper requirement, right, to get it. Because if you go and you get licensed to run a credit repair company, they're going to do a background check. They're going to check your credit to make sure that you can do what you say.
So you got to get your credit checked to run the credit.
For sure.
They ain't doing that. I already know.
You're not going to send them your report. They're going to pull it themselves. So don't think you're going to one up them and, You
know what? You just gave me a thought. So when I used to have bad credit, I worked with two individuals. Neither one of them actually showed me their credit report. So I don't even know if they had bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if they have bad credit. That's crazy.
And I always say success leave receipts, right? So I'm not out here just doing all of these things or saying that I'm doing it and I'm not having the results and the receipts behind it.
Facts.
Like I have a track record. Like you can literally look at the things that I have been doing. I'm always elevating. I'm always, investing into myself to move up because you have to stay hip to what's going on as well.
100%, because things is changing.
Things change, especially in the credit repair industry, right? Think about it. We're going against these big corporations. As soon as we find one thing that works, they try to knock you down.
Yeah, they're gonna switch it up a little bit.
Exactly. They're gonna switch it up. So that's one thing too.
All right, so a lot of things are going on in the world right now, right? So I want to kind of get your opinion on what you think, because I feel like it could also be relevant, right? So recently I saw that like Gucci's wife, she said that he ain't gotta do nothing but just work. She taking care of everything else. What's your opinion on a woman basically setting her husband up for success so he can just go do what he needs to do?
What's better than one successful person in the household?
Two.
So I'm all for it because now you got double. So just imagine if you have two people in the house with a 750, 800 credit score, right? So if I told you I had 600 for myself, so imagine me getting my other partner.
Damn, you just went crazy.
You see what I'm saying? So now you got double. So I'm just mathing in my mind. You got a husband? Fiance, yes.
Fiance. So I don't know what he got going on, but just based on what you just shared with me, that's at least 1.2 million.
Yeah, that's the game right there.
Yeah.
And then another thing. So let's say, for instance, you're going to get a house, right? So why would you have two of y'all on the same loan? When you get one, he get one. Now you got two.
Damn.
So it's just, you could do double the things with two people. So I agree with that.
So should we be looking for love or looking for partners?
Partners. So
strategic partners?
I'm telling you, I couldn't function without mine.
Yeah, no doubt.
So no doubt. It's being an entrepreneur is hard. Being a mother is hard. You get what I'm saying? We wear a lot of different hats in this industry. So you need that person to be on the same level with you, right? For example, I have tons of wardrobe that I came today. He's like, I already got it all ironed out for you.
Yeah.
Like you need little stuff like that,
Facts.
So yeah, you need to build that partner.
So the WNBA, right? Recently, Caitlin Clark, she just came in there, and she's been really great for them. I think her and Angel Reese. Both of them coming in brought a lot of good energy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of revenue. But I think Caitlin Clark, obviously, she's the most pivotal piece.
Yeah.
Right? Because like she's like selling out arenas, even on the road. But the two things that are happening is, one, the other players are it's almost like a mutiny. I don't know if it's jealousy, but like she's bringing more revenue, but they're not supporting her. You know what I mean? They're like causing, I would say, like just friction. You know what I mean? Where I feel like if they all just come together and support, it could drive even more revenue.
For sure.
Right? So why do you think this sense of like infighting between those players?
I feel like it almost goes back to being in a small town, right? They want you doing well, but they don't want you doing better than them. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like one person may think I could get a little bit more than the other person, you know, if I just push that one to the side. So I feel like it's almost, like I said, I want you doing well, but not better than me. I want the spotlight on me. So that can be.
Do you think they deserve more money even though that business it's actually losing money, not generating money? Like the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, but the players want more bread. Do you think they just don't understand how math works?
For sure. And then it's like they're training and different things that they're doing to stay fit and, you know, different things like that. I feel like everyone should get paid what they believe that they're worth, right? Which is why I became an entrepreneur. You don't want to settle.
Yeah.
So for sure, if they believe they deserve more money, yeah, they need it.
So this is dope, right? With what you do, and especially saying that, obviously they can't just go out and get more revenue on the court. They can get revenue off the court.
Right.
But how would you position, let's say Angela Reese has good credit, but let's say she doesn't have access to funding or whatever like that. Or maybe let's say Caitlin Clark or whomever else, maybe their credit's okay, but they never actually took advantage of like utilizing it.
Right.
How would you suggest a WNBA player put themselves in position to leverage credit to get access to funding to then generate more cash flow off the court?
I would say, depending on what they're making, put some of that money in the bank, right? So now the banks can see that you have, you know, like some skin in the game, right? And then from that, then they'll give you more money based upon what you're already bringing in. So instead of them just, I don't know what basketball players do with their time and their money,
They
right?
just spend it. They just spending
probably
cash.
just spending it, right? Because I heard like multiple like NBA players, NFL players going broke, 100 million contracts, right?
Yeah.
But I would say invest some of that money as well too. Whether that's real estate, you know, putting in a high yield savings, but don't just, you know, be out here just blowing it. And then if you can show that you're responsible, then now you have the banks that's willing to give you even more money. So now you have double whatever you were bringing in to invest into something.
So
tangible.
that blueprint that you shared earlier, right? Would that be applicable for an athlete? Could they plug and play that same strategy?
For sure, for sure. And the thing about it is, if they don't know how, like I said, my company will do that. You know, I like to take the legwork from people because I don't want people to get frustrated. Fixing your credit should not feel, you know, like frustrating or a chore. Like I want you to come through and get the results that you know you desire. So definitely come on over.
So you can literally help a WNBA player who right now might be frustrated about, hey, listen, I'm only making 40, 50, 60,000. We deserve more money. But you can put them in position by fixing their credit and giving them access to, let's say, 6 figures, almost even 7 figures of funding, depending on what the situation might be, in a map that you might draw up for them.
Yep.
So now they can take that money that they're not getting on the court, but still have access to more money to create more cash flow.
Yep. And then I actually, like, my thing is, I'm a business strategist, right? I can look at, you know, what you do and tell you how you can make money in whatever it is. So she may not even have a business, and we can get her literally started up with the business.
Yo,
she already have a name for herself.
Yeah, listen, we have to get you on that Angel Reese podcast or something.
For sure.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what we got to do.
Definitely.
A lot of athletes, you know, we kind of transition a little bit, but a lot of athletes, you know, they end up going broke, right?
Just talking about this.
Is there something that they can do, right? Because maybe they're not getting the information, you know
That's
what I'm
what
saying?
it is.
Like in the NBA, NFL, MLB. What can they do to safeguard or put something in position so they're not going broke if there's an injury that prevents them from playing, or maybe they just retiring and then, you know, now they never really worked the real position? What can they do while they're playing to put themselves in position?
I would say they need to find something that they love that's actual profitable and invest into it. One of the things, park your money in real estate. Real estate ain't going nowhere. Everybody needs a place to stay. That's one of the things that I would recommend, for NBA player.
Okay. And then you're doing so many amazing things, right? Hitting these podcasts, dropping this message. What do you really want? Because I know you helping people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you started this business. You're really making an impact. But like, what do you see for yourself and for your family? What do you really desire on this journey that you got going on?
I see more awareness to what I do and how I can help you transform your life. I'm not just out here just selling something, right? I'm giving you a transformation. So I want more people to know that it doesn't take a lifetime to fix their credit, right? You could come back from anything, which is another thing I forgot to mention. I do have a credit comeback masterclass, right? That literally gives you A through Z, everything you need to remove anything from your credit report. But I want them to know that you don't have to settle.
Yeah.
You don't have to commit to being broke. You just need to find the right person, the resource, and get the results that you need.
How do you feel like people can come together, utilizing the information that you have, and really put themselves in a better position, right? Because I feel like now, especially in our community, we're kind of divided. But what's interesting is this, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you know a lot of millionaires, maybe even some billionaires. I know a lot of millionaires too, but it's like it's like a little pocket. So for us, it's like it's normal, right? Because it's like these are people we dealing with, people that we see commonplace. But for most people, it's not. Right. So how could the average person, or would you suggest the average person get with you, let's say, to get this stuff together? Should they then connect with other family members or other friends that also come together to do the same thing, to kind of advance the success?
Yeah, I literally showed my mom, my sister, like how to fix your credit. You get what I'm saying? Because let's say, for instance, you have 5 people in your family with good credit. You get 5 of them funded, $100K. That's $500K that you have amongst all of you to go invest into something. So many different things out here that's tangible, of course. I always go back to real estate because, I'm a real estate investor. But literally 5 people, go get a trailer park. You get what I'm saying? Like, invest into something that's going to bring you a return on your money. So get together, learn that information. Or even, I know some of my friends, right? They came together and they sent one person through a mentorship, right? And one person came back, but that one person was the face for all of them, but they all invested their money, because not everyone has the opportunity to just up and quit their job and say, okay, I'm gonna go full force to entrepreneurship. So that's one thing too. Come together, send one person through a mentorship or, something to educate themselves on how to come back. So now you can really elevate to the next level.
So listen, before we get out of here, I know you shared earlier how people can tap into some of the programs that you have. So definitely share that again. And is there anything else that you want people to know about you, your current campaign, and what you got going on? You can actually just tell them right there directly.
If you guys want to tap in with me, I'm not selling you a product. I'm giving you a transformation. I'm not here to try to, just get you to buy into what I have. I literally change lives for a living. All of my clients, not some, all of my clients get results. And that's what I want for you too. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, Jasmine Mazyck, Instagram _Jasmine Mazyck, my website, info.jmwealthinstitute.com. Tap in with me and let me show you how to use your credit, turn it into capital. Whatever struggle you're going through, change it to success.
All right, so my last question for you, if you had the opportunity to ask God one question, what's the question you would ask God?
I actually tell God, thank you. It ain't really a question. It's thank you. Thank you for allowing me to position myself in a way that I have, right? Allowing me to get out of that small town, because who knows, the thing, if 18 to 24, that's a long gap to be spinning in circles. So, I'm just thankful that he guided my footsteps,
Yeah.
Perfect timing, I say.
Listen, I appreciate you for spending some time with us. I definitely want to have you back, probably in a different capacity. We can do like a vlog or something, because I think it would be cool. Maybe we'll take a trip. You give me some funding, and we can show the people what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go into a financial institution, credit union, bank, or something. But listen, y'all, make sure you tap into Jasmine. Her information will be below. Programs. If you just want to tap in, ask any questions, I think she can really, really help you in your situation, or at least give you some more clarity because I know some of y'all still skeptical and some of y'all still scared, but you're not going to get no success if you don't take any risk. This has been another episode of the On the Pursuit podcast. This is Brendan Boyd. That's Jasmine Mazyck. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Is your podcast still not monetized? Apple has over 2 million podcasts on their platform, but only 450,000 of them are active. The truth is 90% of podcasts quit before episode 10, and of the remaining podcasts, only half of them really know how to get money. And they rely on brand deals, sponsorships, and a large audience. So if you're really ready to scale your podcast to 100K, click the link below, book a call, and let's see if you're a good fit for the program.